can start whenever you'd like.
Oh, wait a minute, or what?
Huh?
Wait a little or what?
What time is it?
6:27, I guess.
Oh, really? Oh, my fountain's that's fine. Well, we can do the pledge, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You think
You're okay.
close enough?
Yeah.
All right, my name is Dwayne Lugden and, I'll open up the town council here meeting for October 21st, 2025. We are live here in the council chamber and live on Facebook as well for those that are out there watching. And for those who may look in later. We have already taken the pledge of allegiance here, and I'll move on to, opening the council meeting and a review of the minutes.
Motion to accept this.
Seconded. Motion made to accept the minutes of October 7, 2025, and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. We'll vote. Larry,
Aye.
Charlie,
Aye.
Jim, Dwayne is aye. We have no citizens in attendance here tonight, so,
I just saw something pop up. I don't know what it is.
oh, you did?
Did you want to do roll call?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I should.
oh, good. I just want to make sure.
I should mention that all council members are present here tonight with the exception of Mark Ketch, who's chairman of the council. He has been called away this afternoon for a meeting that's late, at his work site and is excused for tonight. And with that, since we have no citizens here, we'll skip citizens' requests and return to it if somebody should come in. And we'll move along to the manager's report.
Just the final tonnage for the fall cleanup came in. The bill is actually presented tonight in the warrant. The tonnage was 9.69 tons. With a cost of $1,036.87. The contractor also charges $1,500 to do each cleanup. And ticket sales were 1,080, so the net cost of the cleanup was 1,456.87. Just wanted to pass that along. On October 16th, last Thursday, I did participate in a Zoom conference with the court regarding 114 Cran Street. Unfortunately, I do not have much more to report. The judge, want to Foster?
That's all right, thanks.
The judge does not want to move forward with a trial until he has legal representation. The newly appointed guardian, Kaylee Foster, also participated. And she reported that Mr. Wing refuses to speak to her. And so therefore she hasn't been able to do anything to help represent him or get him services. She did offer that she might know of a few attorneys that may be willing to represent Mr. Wing pro bono, and she was gonna reach out to them. And that's kind of all that was discussed. It was not eventful.
So as long as he refuses to speak to any attorney, then it can delay and delay and delay and delay.
Eventually, she's going to have to go to trial, but they keep coming up with these attorneys that we've mentioned to see if somebody will help represent him. I did mention to her that the town is interested in looking forward to a, settlement. And so she was going to see if a settlement conference could be scheduled. And so that would be, with a representation from Mr. Wing and the town. And the attorney did state that he thought that we would get a different judge in a settlement type, conference. So I'm hopeful maybe we can move forward with that at some point. And then lastly, really the only thing I have to talk about is today, in Bradley, we hosted the VAX Policy Committee meeting. VAX is the transportation, organization that we are in, part of due to 178. And I did learn of a project that Maine DOT has regarding speed bump outs. We've had some residents express the desire to have bump outs during the spring and summer on Highland Avenue and Cram Street. I'm not sure if those roads would be qualified or if those bump outs are only for state roads. I need to learn some more about it. The town is responsible for placing and removing the speed bumps, and the people that do that need to be educated in the DOT standards and requirements, so that would probably be where our struggle might be, because we don't have a public works. Typically municipalities have public works and their workers are trained in that type of standards. So I didn't know if that was something that the town council wanted me to look into further into.
Could we potentially get a contractor to be able to help with that?
That was one of the things I was thinking, I could contact DOT and see if they know of a contractor that does it. And if we would be allowed to have a contractor do it.
I'd make a motion to look into it further.
Hear a motion, do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second to look into the issue of speed bumps on Highland Avenue and Cram Street, correct?
Yes, that's where the residents have requested them.
Okay,
They did talk about maybe needing, a study done, so that would be part of the investigation process, is me to outline what exactly would be needed.
okay. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Larry,
Aye.
Charlie,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Dwayne is aye.
And that's really all I have for, manager's report.
Any commentary on the manager's report? Anything else you want to hear from her?
Well, so going back to, the hearing that there was held. Whose responsibility now is it to try to find a lawyer for Kim? Is it the DHS worker? Is it?
There's no DHS
Court?
worker,
Okay,
there's
is the court?
two attorneys that have been appointed guardian ad litem. And I think it's their responsibility, that's how I think she put it onto them. I'm not 100% confident that that's gonna occur. In my opinion, they did absolutely nothing from this hearing to.
Are there any guidelines that the judge provided in terms of a timeline of when they needed to find
She
somebody?
did not provide a timeline.
Okay.
I think it will be, again, us prodding for another hearing.
Anything else?
And one more question, what, is there anything you can share with us, or is it appropriate, I guess? with our legal counsel in this, in what they provided to the judge for, was it just an update hearing?
It was just an update hearing. Our attorney did press the judge. He thought that, he stated, we have a court order for an 80K hearing, which is a land use violation hearing. And, you know, we've been patient and we've been waiting for this. And, you know, the town is getting frustrated with the lack of response. And she came right out and said, I do not feel comfortable moving forward with a trial until he has legal representation.
Which you won't accept.
Which she will not accept. And can't pay for it.
I'm just, it boggles my mind of why the court can't. And I know we can't do this, it wouldn't be coming from us, but why they can't do mental health evaluations. Determine his capacity.
Part of the reason that the judge is reluctant to move forward here without him being represented is because she recognizes at least that he has some issues. And I don't know what makes her so reluctant. Somewhere along the way, somebody has got to hold him accountable for the violation of the ordinance and the violation of the court order to resolve it. I agree with you. It boggles my mind as well when you listen to them, and especially when a judge sitting up there on the bench says, I don't know what to do.
Mm.
Now, she didn't say that this time. I came in and listened to it with Melissa, but she didn't say it this time, but in a former court hearing right there in the court building, she looked down from the bench and said, I honestly don't know what to do. And she's a judge.
In the most recent behaviors that this gentleman had, did that come up at all?
It didn't in the court hearing. I asked to speak. They typically don't allow me to speak, and she did allow me to speak, and that's when I said, you know, we're becoming extremely frustrated with the lack of response from the court, and our residents are extremely frustrated, and we would like to move forward with this. And is it possible to talk about a settlement? And, you know, and I said, the town council has discussed that, and we would like to discuss it with him. And she was in favor of that. When the conference call got over, the attorney did call me. And, he stated that, again, he thought that the judge was that we would get a new judge for a settlement conference. And I stated that his behavior had escalated and that he recently had been arrested. And he was going to forward that information onto the DA, that we had this pending court case without resolve to the DA.
All right, thank you for answering those questions.
It's a ugly thing. Anything else? Thank you, Melissa. And with that, we'll move along to new business. Any new business from you, Melissa?
No.
Any from the council at this point? Hearing nothing, I have just one issue on my mind that I wanted to surface. And it's something that I may do repeatedly between now and April or May of next year. We're headed into a new budget year here very shortly. In fact, probably over the next 6 to 8 weeks, we'll begin whatever deliberations we intend to have with respect to the budget. And I just want to let the public know that there may be a stark reality coming with respect to the county budget. Yeah, if you're reading the newspapers or listening to the news, there's been plenty of activity out there in the media about the straits that the county is in. And last year, our budget here in Bradley was $249,000 alone for the Bradley portion of the county tax bill. They are talking now about a 14 to 15% increase in that 249,000, which equates to leaving Bradley on the hook here for 283,000 the next time, if that number holds true. That's a $35,000 increase in one hit. That's in addition to a hit that we had last year from the county for a 9% increase. And yet for the jail budget alone, I would tell you that the jail budget alone has increased 93% since 2015, so that's 10 years. It's up 93%. The jail budget itself, this current year is a little less than $16 million. And in 2015, that number was $6 million. So it's up over $9 million just for the jail. We are currently spending $2.5 million alone to send inmates to other facilities around the state because we don't have enough room for inmates here in Penobscot County. And that goes back to their desire to have a new jail built, which has been talked about for 10 or 12 years now that I'm aware of. And they continue to have funding issues for that. They've asked the state to help fund a new jail for Penobscot County. The state so far has maintained that it is receptive, but nothing happens. And this year in particular, I'm not sure you're gonna see the state entertain helping Penobscot County build a jail because Washington County is nearly bankrupt and may have to be assisted by the state in big numbers. And on top of that, the revenue sharing for the state of Maine is down in remarkable ways. It's in decline due to the drop in revenue. And we have a deficiency in the tourist numbers that continue to drop. And the income from tourists are down across the restaurants and hotel industry. So the state is receiving less in terms of funding than it had from taxation in recent years. And frankly, if they continue to talk about funding the jail and funding the normal increases that come about in any public budget, then the county budget, if we see the numbers play out like they're talking, could be going up for Bradley's interest at least $34,000 to $35,000 in our next budget year. So I just wanted to speak to that tonight and have folks understand that we're gonna face some pressures in the budget cycle as a result of Penobscot County taxes. And I don't think it's going to be greatly pleasant, but we've got to work our way through it. We don't have much recourse other than doing it. Any discussion arise out of that?
I will let you know that, I met with the commission. For years, I have been tagged as a manager that arranges meetings for Penobscot County managers. And I scheduled one in September to meet with the county commissioners. And this was actually in the Bangor, ended up being in the Bangor Daily News. And that's when this 14 to 15% increase was brought to light. The county managers are again scheduling a meeting, hopefully at the end of this week, beginning of next week, to kind of talk about this and kind of brainstorm about it. Not that there's much that we can offer for the increase. I think that that's gone by the wayside. The county is saying that their increase is due to a funding problem that they have in the state of Maine since 2021. And they've been using surplus to offset that funding problem, but now they're out of surplus. And so they've talked a little bit about changes that need to be done regarding that. One, the county is on a fiscal year budget and towns are on a fiscal year. The county's on a calendar year, towns are on a fiscal year. So there's a funding gap that kind of occurs with the county. They're not getting all of their tax dollars like they probably should. So they talked about changing that to a fiscal year instead of a calendar year and how we help them move forward with that process. The budget committee for the county is made up of elected officials. And while you're all elected officials, managers might have a little bit more experience with finances than elected officials. So there's been some talk about changing that, so some municipal officials can sit on the county budget. And there's also been some talk about, getting a committee together to get this jail process moving forward. Because the county used to be able to house their inmates, but the state changed how they were allowed to do that. So now they are outsourced, they're boarded to other jails, and those jails set the price per inmate. So there's a lot of things that the county can't even control that's being forced by the state. So again, the managers do plan on meeting, hopefully again, this end of this week, beginning of next week, to start putting our heads together to see what we can do to help the county and help with these tax increases. A lot of people don't realize that their tax bill includes the county tax
Right,
and what that county tax really means.
Yep.
So it's a very big part of your budget. We do get their services, you know, the sheriff, the jail, the dispatch, many other services. But, it is definitely a time for us to kind of step up and to make a change.
I think it's encouraging that the town administrators want to get involved in the county budget process. I sat on the county budget committee for 3 years, I guess back somewhere around 2017, 18, 19, somewhere back there. And this jail issue has been talked about all of that time while I was on that committee. And we were not able to get it funded, and we're just burning money by sending inmates elsewhere. So it's good that they're thinking about it anyway.
There was some other discussion about, this facility that they want to build, having it be a one-stop shops, because one thing that we've learned and, is that inmates, if they have a medical problem, have to go to the hospital, right? And we're paying those hospital rates, but if we had it in-house, that could save some money. So, yeah, I think that there's definitely a desire from the administrators to help Hogarth County.
What is the projected cost of a new facility?
They did give me that number. I didn't feel comfortable saying it because I can't remember, but I'm thinking 30 million, if that's not right. It's close. They think that the cost, it could be almost a wash negative of the cost that we're paying to board out. the
That's what I
inmates.
was asking.
Might pay for the bond
Yeah,
to fund the facility. There's a whole bunch of things that have to come in. I don't know how much of this is out there, but there's not a place in Bangor to have it. Right now, the Bangor voters would have to approve for it not to be in the county. I think that's a legislative process.
They've found a site now in Hamden, I guess, but I don't know if they've bought it.
I don't know yet either.
So,
So, yeah, it's definitely a problem. They admittedly have kicked it down the road, hoping that the state was gonna come forward with the funding, and that hasn't happened.
good. Thank you, Melissa. I just thought it was something we ought to bring up and at least begin having the public understand that there is maybe a dilemma coming, so. Anything else on a new business, folks? Hearing nothing, we'll move along to unfinished business. Anything under unfinished business, Melissa?
No,
Anything from the council members with regard to unfinished business? Again, hearing none, we'll move along to the municipal warrants, and I'll make a motion to accept the warrants as presented tonight.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to accept the municipal warrants. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Larry?
Aye.
Charlie?
Aye.
Jim?
I,
Dwayne is aye. Want to check for comments, Melissa, on the live?
Louise Magoon is asking, will there be budget workshops to figure out where to cut items to make up this deficit? So the town council is presented with their budget. I present a budget to the council on February 1st. And on or before February 1st, and then we work on it until the end of April. And we invite the public to come in and discuss it with the council at all the time.
And at the end of that process, it goes to a public hearing, correct?
That's exactly right. So it goes end of April, the town council sets the budget at a public hearing. And then it goes to the referendum, in June.
That's the only thing online there?
That is the only thing.
Okay, we'll put the public on notice that the next meeting of this council will be on November 4, 2025. At 6:30 PM, and we will again do that online. Anything else, Melissa, you can think of?
So you said November 4th, correct? Yeah,
Yes, November 4th.
yeah, that's all I got. Motion to adjourn, so that was?
Yes.
I'll second it, and we're all in. Thank you.